Hey, Trev here. Today I'm going to give you some really brilliant tips to design an amazing modern logo. Anyone can design a logo. I truly believe that you can design it and then have a professional create the copy. And I'm going to give you some tips to design a really professional logo without any help. Now, if you're not creative, I believe you are. Everyone was going to elementary school with crayon in their hands. People were coloring at the age of 5, and art was such a big thing growing up. So it's silly to think that you can't draw. I believe you can, and even if you can't draw, you can do this digitally. So I'll give you a few tips. When it comes to a logo, shouldn't be using any more than 2 or 1 font. Like literally. My favorite's Helvetica. I absolutely love Helvetica. That's what I use for a lot of different things. But you can choose any typeface on your computer, and ideally you stick with that one, okay? You don't have multiple fonts. It's crazy when people have all these different fonts and different sizes. Stick to one size in your logo identity. You only need the one. You need one size, one font. That's my rule, is that I have one size, one font. And it just clears away all the clutter that all these noisy logos have. So that covers the typeface. You really don't have to do too much more than that. If you want to really customize the typeface, like you want to make it unique to you, which I would recommend if you can, is you can take one letter in the font that you've chosen for your name, your brand, and you can edit that one letter and it automatically becomes distinctive. Just do something crazy with it, and that automatically makes your logo unique. That's all you have to do. And keep all the other letters consistent. If you start trying to change too many of the letters, then you lose the essence of what you're trying to communicate. Because that one subtle change could actually create the emotion in your logo, the emotion that you want for your entire brand. So don't change too much. But if you make that one subtle change for a letter, it can make a huge difference. Now, you can actually create something iconic, and I would recommend that you have something iconic. Maybe it's that letter that you changed. Maybe that's your iconic piece, the thing that people can identify you with. Otherwise, you can kind of draw out something. You can use simple squares or lines or circles and do something different with them to create the font. I like just using like a circle and a letter and pairing that together, and that actually can work. That can be very effective. This is a simple logo. It is fresh. It's a breath of fresh air. And, you know, there's so many people that want to go overboard with their logo, with flashy colors, with these globes, and you don't need to do all that. You can literally start with black and white. So whatever it is that you do with it, you can just make it black and white. And actually, that's what I recommend. Keep this in black and white, and don't change the color until you're happy with the look. Okay? You can get into colors later. And, you know, once you're happy with the look, then you can kind of get into the color. And even with color, unless that's your thing, is to be fun and playful, you should only be using 1 to 2 colors for your logo. Maybe the font's gray and the logo's blue or red. That should be essentially it. You shouldn't need to do too much more than that. Unless you're Google, where you can get away with multiple colors, and that's the essence you want across all of your media, is to go with multiple colors. Then definitely you can do that. It's just a little bit more challenging to do, and it's a little bit more noisy. So if you want to go with a minimalist logo, then you can get away with black and white or grayscale. So these are the things that I look at in the logo. I don't use serif fonts anymore. I think it's a little too old school. I go with sans serif. So I mentioned Helvetica. There's plenty of other ones that I recommend, such as Avenir, Futura, and those are the ones that I use on occasion. Arial is a great font because it works well as far as the web fonts go. I try not to use it too much though. I like Roboto. If you're going to use a Google web font, you can use Roboto in your logo. Super easy. It's free to use. You might as well, give that a try. I like the light modern fonts. I never usually go with like a thicker bold. I think bold is too noisy. I mean, you have to be really concise and clean if you're going to go bold. And, if that's the look you're going for, you want to be overwhelming and in your face, by all means, make sure you know what your brand identity is and what you're trying to communicate. I usually focus on a lighter font because I don't want to take away from the critical icon that is probably the little icon that you created there. The font shouldn't overtake things. Now you can also make your logo the font, and that is your entire logo. That's absolutely brilliant. I encourage that. It's a little bit more difficult to be unique because a lot of people use the font. So if you're going to use just a font for your logo, make sure that something is unique. And it's really important that you do that. Something that you can use across other media. Unless you're absolutely brilliant and the font itself is the art piece, then, have something different. Have something different in one of the letters, just so it distinguishes it. And you'll notice how clean it is, and it'll actually stand out more. People confuse noise with attraction, and attraction comes from the simplicity and the elegance of a logo. Because you're fighting for that view. So if you're not clearly communicating your message, then it doesn't matter how noisy you are, I'm going to skip over you because I don't understand what you're trying to convey. Keep it really simple so that me, the buyer, will actually stop and look at you. In my travels of looking at logos, I won't stop if it's too complicated. But you will catch my attention if there's something subtle and elegant about you. I'm going to stop. It's like that girl in the red dress. You're going to stop and you're going to look at her because there's something simple and elegant about what she's doing and what she's wearing. So that's how I kind of look at the logos, that you want it to be simple, elegant, and to the point. It shows that you as a business are together. You know what you're trying to do, and you're communicating that to me, and I'm interested, I'm on board, I want to learn more. I'm intrigued. You're not giving me the full meal deal, you're giving me a snapshot of what you're all about, and that's great. Don't give me all your colors and all of your flamboyancy in the logo. Just give me a piece, and I will be encouraged enough to learn more about your story. Stick to these little simple little tips. These might actually make a huge difference in your brand. And I'm happy to assist here. I've spent quite a few years analyzing modern logo design. So definitely reach out to me if you have any more questions. I'm here to help.